former board, staff, and interns here for me to recognize them all. But there are a couple that were supposed to be here, and the good news is there's so many folks here I have not been able to find everyone. But I just wanted to give a couple people a shout out. Henry Slack. Henry, are you here yet?
He's here.
Where's Henry? Okay. First Southface treasurer, early Southface board member, and longest tenured Southface member. So, Henry. Don and Judy Bender. You here yet? Okay, great mentor. This is organization. Probably the most important thing is they co-signed the bank note so that we could buy our first demonstration center over on Moreland Avenue. So when you see them, thank them. By the way, they got their money back. Elizabeth Robertson. I know I've seen Elizabeth. Are you still here, Elizabeth?
Probably getting a drink.
No, she had to come, and it sounds like she...
There she is.
Elizabeth, here she is. So Elizabeth was with the Georgia State Energy Office, becoming the director of that office for many years. And early in Southface's existence, she believed. She believed in our mission. She believed in the potential that we had, and has been a great friend of this organization and a great personal friend of mine for over 2 decades. So thank you, Elizabeth. Now, in 1977, this young graduate student at Georgia Tech said, "Hey, I want you to go to a meeting with me in a couple of days to talk about Sunday." And I'm going, huh? Well, that graduate student was Jeff Tiller, and Jeff, I know you're here somewhere. Yeah. For those of you who do not know, Sunday was a national movement brought to you by the same people who organized the first Earth Day to increase public awareness of the importance of solar power. Get the connection? Sunday, solar power. Don't worry, in 1977, no one got the connection either. Despite that, though, Jeff and I really became the co-chairs of the Georgia Sunday Committee, which over time evolved into Southface. And for almost 2 decades, we worked together. And there is not anyone who is smarter, more passionate about the environment, and particularly about helping people, who works harder. The guy never sleeps. And who really got it that we needed pragmatic, science-based solutions to these problems if we were going to have an impact. It was Jeff really that shaped the culture of this organization. Jeff, and I can't think of a legacy that I would be more proud of than what you've done for Southface. So, Jeff Tiller. By the way, when Jeff left Southface, he went on to start one of the best building science programs in the country at Appalachian State, and we've got a ton of interns from them, as well as some of our staff members. So he's done pretty darn well since he left Southface. Now, there are a lot of current and former board members, staff members, and interns here. Too many for me to recognize you all. How about if you just raise your hand if you're in that former board, staff, and intern? Thank you all. Without you, can't do it without you. And we also can't do it without our members. And many of you here today are members. We appreciate your support. By the way, I forgot to mention one very important thing. In my transition to a new platform, whatever that means, I think it's code for I don't know quite what I'm going to do next. But the one thing that I know, and my wife, Callie Pendergrass, I think is around somewhere. The one thing Callie and I do know is that we are going to continue to be lifelong members of Southface and support this. Solid support on the home front. Actually, it is. I can't tell you how many times Callie and her family, my mother-in-law, and all the Pendergrass family that are here, can't tell you how many times they've been on the cleanup crew for these kinds of events. So, but we are committed to being lifelong members of Southface and financial supporters, and I hope you will all join us in that kind of a commitment to this organization. Now, about 2 decades ago, maybe a little bit longer, we got this great idea about, wow, we ought to have an internship program at Southface. And fast forward now, we've had over 250 interns come through the program. And these are people, some of them are working in the sustainability industry. In fact, some have gone ahead and started their own businesses with national reputation, Steve Byers. Others are working for great local and national companies. Whatever path our interns have taken, ability in or leading the change that we all aspire to see. And so I can't think of a better legacy for Southface than our internship program. And I just want to recognize all the interns. Once again, how about raising your hands if you've ever been an intern here at Southface? Interns, back me up on this one, okay? Have you ever heard the change is constant at Southface? We believe in continual improvement, including on our very successful internship program. We are excited this year. We're putting in some changes to the internship program designed to really enrich the educational opportunities for our interns, but also designed to achieve one of our goals as an organization is to look more at equity. And so hopefully we will have a very diverse intern corps going forward that reflects the diversity of our community. So we are excited about that. So to recognize the programmatic change that we're doing with the internship program, and to also recognize that our interns are out there leading across this country and beyond in sustainability circles, we're going to change the name of the internship program. And so it's going to now be called the Southface Emerging Leaders Program. And I like that name. I think it resonates. And to share with you some exciting news about the Southface Emerging Leaders Program is Marcy Reed, who's our Chief Development and Communications Officer at Southface. Join me in welcoming Marcy.
Thank you, Dennis, and thank you to all of you who traveled, especially to be with us today from near and far. I am delighted to announce that we have received a $100,000 gift to establish a dedicated fund for our Southface Emerging Leaders Program. Now, our goal for that fund to truly do what it needs to do to financially support the program, we need to double that amount. And my big, hairy, audacious goal is to double that amount by the Visionary Dinner, which is September 8th, and as you know, which will be our next celebration of Dennis. So, we have pledge forms at the registration table. I have a handful here. You can pledge over 3 years, or Joey Shea will be happy to take your credit card today, or the registration desk. We are able to take your gift to support the program, or again, you can just pledge your support and we can follow up with you at a later time. But we would love it. While you are here mingling with our interns and learning the great things they have done, if you will consider a contribution to our Emerging Leaders Program. I'd love to be able to announce a successful campaign close when we send Dennis off in September to his the next leg of his great adventure. So again, please help us establish a dedicated fund to keep the Emerging Leaders Program successful. And I will remind you again, the Visionary Dinner is September 8th at the Georgia Aquarium. And an additional message for the current, the interns who are here, and if you can share this with those who are not here, thanks to a gift from the Turner Foundation, we will have a number of scholarships available to help former interns and staff who live around the globe to support their journey to join us with the Visionary Dinner to offset the cost of travel and their tickets. So put that bug in your ear, and there will be an application online in the next week or so. Now, before I turn it over to Amber to tell you a little bit more about the other activities that we have planned for you tonight, other than your gift to the Emerging Leaders Program, I just want to give a shout out to Amber and her team who made today possible. Amber McFarland, Samantha Shea, Deandra Powers, Joey Shea, Greg Bruff, Stu Lipkin, Stephen Ward, and our entire Southface crew really comes together to help make this event as wonderful as it is. So I'd like to thank them and then turn it over to Amber for some housekeeping.
I know I'm keeping you between you and the bar for another drink, so I'll make this brief. First, I want to thank our sponsors, and that is Nick and Amy from Linton Hopkins over here. Peachtree Tents and Events that provided that awesome furniture in the Home Depot Foundation Training Center for you to take a little bit of lounge on. High Road Craft Ice Cream and Sorbet, which is in the classroom if you didn't know that. And also just thank you to Whole Foods Market for providing the other refreshments and helping me tonight. Oh, and Sweetwater, the beer. How can I forget the beer? Sweetwater, woo!